I'm reunited with Erica Rannestad at the IPMI this year, but this year she has a brand new gig. She's now the North American demand analyst over at Thomson-Reuters GFMS. Erica, good to be back with you.
Pleasure.
And Erica, last time we spoke, which was a year ago, I can't believe it flew by, it was on the PGMs, but this year I'm going to talk to you a little bit about silver. That's what you're speaking about here at the conference. And one thing I thought was really interesting when I spoke to your colleague, Andrew Leyland, last month, was he noted that silver demand rose by 13% in 2013. So I'd like to get your thoughts on that and a little bit about how the silver market's set up right now.
Okay, well, the rise in demand was driven by some of the price-sensitive sources of silver, that being jewelry, which rose about 10%. And then the other price-sensitive source was some of that retail-level investment in coins and bars. So you saw really strong demand in the coin market, particularly in the US. You had coin demand reaching record levels. And in the bar market, you had really strong demand in the US as well as in Asia, particularly India. In that arena, Indian silver demand benefited from the import taxes imposed on gold.
Oh, right. So they were looking at silver as an alternative to gold. That's interesting, Erica.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you're focusing on North America. What are some trends that you're seeing in terms of gold and silver?
Well, scrap supply is still declining at a pretty rapid rate. Last year, scrap supply came off 24% globally, and it was a bit stronger in the US and North America in general, actually. And we're still seeing the rate of decline pretty strong, maybe a little bit lower, I would say around 15%, but stronger than I initially expected in the beginning of the year. And that combines with lower demand for investment products. Coin demand is off from a record year. It's still very high, very elevated by historical terms, but it is off from last year. And bar demand is off very strongly. One interesting thing in the investment market is that for silver, particularly in coins, the US Mint didn't release coins until typically a few weeks later, and it was put on allocated basis, and that generated some demand because of anticipation of shortages in silver supply. So you saw some premiums on coins at elevated levels for a few weeks in the first quarter of the year, but those premiums have come off and now they're selling pretty much at normal rates.
Erica, is there something that's really sticking out for you when you're looking at trends right now in the silver market? I know you've been covering this market for many years, that's why I ask.
So my presentation was focusing on emerging and niche uses of silver, and one market that I looked at that I think is particularly compelling that could create new, potentially substantial demand for silver is the use of silver in transparent conductors. And transparent conductors are used in LCD displays, in OLED lighting, and particularly the touchscreen sensors, so touch sensors. And the prospect for use of silver is the most compelling in the touchscreen component of that market.
So Erica, let's talk price now. What's the forecast for silver looking like?
So this year we expect prices to average $18.65. We do expect prices to come off from current levels around $19. We think they could head toward $15 over the summer, and probably see a bit of a recovery in the fourth quarter of the year.
So Eric, I guess the question I have left for you now is, when's the excitement going to come back to the silver market? When are we going to see those roaring 30s and possibly 40 again?
Yeah, well, I think over the next few years through 2016, we expect really muted growth in industrial demand. It's still pretty good. We expect about a 1.2% compounded annual growth rate in industrial demand. And if you think about it, what really drives silver prices are those price inelastic sources of industrial demand and investment demand. And investment demand, we still expect to remain at really high, elevated levels by historic standards. We still expect the coin market to thrive, the Chinese market to increase, and even the Indian market to continue to be strong. But those industrial uses, it's very limited. I think that the scope for, for instance, growth in the solar panel market is not going to translate to higher silver demand, so that's not really going to play a factor. So it's hard to say. If the investment component of the market kind of picks up again, which, may or may not,
Right.
then maybe we could see another exciting story in silver market.
I know it's not an easy question to answer, Erica. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks for watching our coverage from the IPMI taking place in Orlando, Florida this year. We'll have more for you. In the meantime, you can email me at newsfeedback@kitco.com. Thanks for watching.